Hello and welcome back to Newsroom Nigeria. This is where we give you hot, fresh, and sizzling news all day long. If this is your first time here, you have not subscribed to this channel, kindly click on the subscribe button down below. Also give this video a massive thumbs up. That way YouTube is able to recommend this video to other YouTube viewers all around the world. Lastly, please leave your opinions in the comment section below. Without further ado, let's delve right into the details of today's news. The women's presence, operation, and compensation have set tongues wagging across the Central Bank of Nigeria. Senior staff members across the CBN's 29 departments are foaming and grumbling over how the women arbitrarily brought in by Governor Olayemi Cardoso as consultants have amassed enormous powers, enabling them to sometimes issue directives to departmental directors. There is also widespread anger across the board over what some insiders describe as the unbelievably high and obscene compensation the consultants earn monthly. Mr. Cardoso assumed duties as CBN governor on 22nd September 2020. Some insiders said the women arrived with him that day at the bank, but some sources said the women only joined days later and have remained at the regulatory institution ever since, sparking suspicion and debates about their relationship with the governor, value to the institution, and huge monthly pay. The women at the center of this raging controversy are Nkiru Bolonwu, founder of African Soft Power Group, and Daplin Dafinome, a chartered accountant and chief operating officer of Crow Dafinome, a Nigerian accounting firm. There is a third technical consultant called Shola Phillips, who joined Mr. Cardoso's kitchen cabinet from Citibank. But our sources said Shola's presence and activities have not been as disruptive and controversial as those of our two colleagues, just as the terms of our engagement are not immediately clear. The consultants are now mockingly called Cardoso women across the bank. One source giggled when a reporter requested a further explanation of the term. You should be able to decode what that means yourself, the official said. Directors at the CBN said Mr. Cardoso arbitrarily hired the women as consultants without following laid-down rules, with no terms of reference, deliverables, or timelines for the delivery of their consultancies. For instance, they queried the hiring of Mr. Bolonwu as a cooperative communication consultant when the CBN has an elaborate, efficient, and well-staffed corporate communication department led by a director and tasked with ensuring effective, timely, and qualitative internal and external communication, engagement, and feedback. The consultants are now mockingly called Cardoso women across the bank. On the other hand, insiders said Ms. Dafinome's consultancy role is not clearly defined. She merely takes on any responsibility assigned to her by Mr. Cardoso. Only recently, the governor tasked her with designing and implementing a controversial early exit program to pay off at least 1,000 staff members into voluntary retirement. Mr. Cardoso tapped her for this role while bypassing the bank's Human Resources Department, which is statutorily charged with developing and administering human capital management policies, functions, and processes. Ms. Balonwu and Dafinome as 5th and 6th CBN deputy governors. The CBN has 4 deputy governors: Enom Uzoro, Corporate Services Directorate; Mohammed Datijo, Economic Policy Directorate; Philip Ikeazo, Financial System Stability Directorate; and Bala Bello, Operations Directorate. However, staff members now derisively refer to Ms. Bolonwu and Dafinome as the 5th and 6th deputy governors of a bank, saying the two have amassed so much power to be so called. Directors said the consultants now write memos on CBN letterheads, issuing directives even when they are unknown to the bank structure and organogram. They said they are consultants, but they have permanent offices in the bank, and their consultancies have no end dates, one director said. I'm tempted to say they are even more influential than the deputy governors. Their offices are on the 11th floor, just like the governors. The deputy governors are on the 10th floor, below the so-called consultants. They even bypass deputy governors to give direct instructions to directors. Another bank insider corroborated the director's claim. saying he once overheard one of the women boasting that if she draws a line at the bank, even the governor dare not cross it. I can tell you the women are the real people running the CBN. Cardoso has become a mere figurehead, a store director said. Consultants earning salary of 15 directors. Staff members also accused Mr. Cardoso of paying the women obscene salaries. For instance, Ms. Bolonwo, they said, pockets 50 million naira monthly, earning more than the governor and the deputy governors. Her salary also dwarfs the combined pay of 15 directors who earn below 3 million monthly. On her part, Ms. Daphne earns 35 million monthly, said to be higher than the combined salary of 10 directors. Why do you abuse your office to engage family and friends and make them millionaires this way? A staff member lamented. It is disturbing because even Emefiele, with all his witnesses, did not act with this impunity. These women are doing nothing. They are not adding any value to the bank. The governor is just enriching them because they are his friends. There are 29 experienced directors, 170 deputy directors, and over 400 PhD holders in CBN. There is no need to domicile consultants in the bank. What the law says about the hiring of a consultant, according to Nigeria's Public Procurement Act 2007, government agencies are required to conduct transparent and competitive processes when hiring consultants. The Act mandates that consultancy opportunities be publicly advertised, typically in at least 2 national newspapers and the official procurement journal, with clear submission guidelines, defined terms of reference, and detailed evaluation criteria. Proposals must be assessed separately on technical merit and cost, ensuring that only qualified candidates are engaged and that the process remains fair and accountable. In contrast, the apparent arbitral appointment of a so-called consultant at the CBN, hired without defined deliverables or competitive process and earning salaries that dwarf those of senior executives, raises serious questions. Their hiring appears to violate the strict procedures outlined in the Act, which are designed to safeguard public funds and ensure value for money. Meanwhile, one of the consultants, Ms. Dafinome, is said to be arraigned on the 4th of March before Justice Ibrahim Kala of a federal high court in Lagos over an alleged 100 million naira fraud. Her company, CD Cooperative Limited, is also a defendant in the case. She is accused of conspiring to defraud developer Lukman Adeleke in a 2019 property transaction. According to court filing, Mr. Adeleke paid 100 million naira for property at 93 Broad Street, Lagos Island, but Ms. Dafinome allegedly sold it to another buyer. Efforts to resolve the dispute amicably failed, leading to Mr. Adeleke seeking legal redress. According to the New Telegram, Ms. Dafinome was absent at the last court hearing with her lawyer, Dakpo Akinyoshu, informing the court that she was receiving medical treatment in London. Ms. Dafinome's ongoing legal battles add to the controversy surrounding her role at the CBN, where senior officials have raised concerns about her influence and high remuneration, questioning the necessity of her consultancy. Meanwhile, Mr. Cardoso in September 2024 appointed Ms. Dafinome to the board of a Nigerian incentive-based risk-sharing system of agricultural lending, a non-bank financial institution owned by the CBN and charged with redefining, measuring, repricing, and sharing agric business-related credit risk in Nigeria. Despite her ongoing trial, Ms. Dafinome is combining her role on NIRSAL board with a controversial consultancy at the CBN. Efforts to reach the consultants were unsuccessful. Ms. Dafinome did not respond to telephone and WhatsApp calls, neither did she reply to text messages. Attempts to contact Ms. Balonwu were also unfruitful. A direct telephone line did not connect, while she did not answer or reply to a WhatsApp call. An iMessage sent to her was delivered but went unanswered. Similarly, CBN spokesperson Akama Ali's unknown telephone line was unreachable, and she did not respond to a text message and an email sent to her. What are your thoughts? Let's have them in the comment section. Thank you very much for always listening and watching, guys. I will see you all in my next video. Bye for now.